national level with branch comrades to build support for the group. So I'll just pass it over to Rowan to deliver that resolution now to Jacob and to everyone. Thanks.
Hey guys, how you doing? My name's Rowan Hayward. I'm a merchant seafarer. I've been at sea for 26 years, worked on over 70 different ships in that time, nationally, all around Australia, internationally. I paid off a ship yesterday morning, and we're in Devonport in Tasmania. And we were supposed to go alongside to a particular berth so I could get off. However, we couldn't go alongside because there was an Aussie tanker there, the Alexander Spirit it's called. And they were supposed to sail at 2 in the morning. I was getting off at 5 in the morning. They didn't sail. The reason is because they just received an email the day before that the oil company they were working for was ditching them and sending the tanker overseas to be manned by foreigners to be brought back on the Australian coast. So right now as we speak, my comrades on board there have stopped that ship from sailing and refused to leave the vessel. Last week, the Australian government tabled legislation to completely get rid of all Australian seafarers off the Aussie coast. We're talking about up to 10,000 jobs here with all the associated industries. Over 130 years of history. And we're facing the hardest fight that I've ever seen as a seafarer, just to hold on to the right for us to work on our own coast. And yet the fight we're facing is nothing. Nothing compared to what the people of West Papua are going through. Rape, torture, murder, genocide. Horrible stuff. You know, so anyway, a few months ago, we had a meeting, we had a monthly meeting, and I met up with Cindy and made contact, and we had Cindy and Wes come in to our meeting. They did a talk on the West Papuan, what's going on over there, and we put a motion to the floor of the local branch of the MUA here, the NT branch, and I'm just going to read it out right now. So, 27th of January 2015, the West Papua resolution. It is resolved that the NT branch will speak out against the atrocities being perpetuated on the West Papuan people by Indonesia. Further, the NT branch of the MUA will support the struggle of the West Papuan people for independence both morally and publicly, beginning with a message of solidarity from this monthly meeting of members. Moved Rowan Hayward, seconded Steve Richardson, carried unanimously. There was not one person that voted against. When you go outside, guys, there's a bit of a memorial out there. It's a ship steering wheel, and you can see on there it says, "United in struggle, united in sacrifice." And that's what we are now with the West Papuan people as the MUA and NT branch. Thank you.
Thanks very much for that, Rowan. I'll just, sorry, I'm here, Jack. I just want to acknowledge as well, Larrakia, representative, and from the Maritime Union, Eric Fijo as well, who's come down to show solidarity and support as well. So we'll get you down for a photo in a second, Eric, please. All right, pass on to Jacob.
Once again, thank you. Rowan Hayward, you with me today and remind me that first time I arrived in here, late mining Brian, he's the one from Senior Maritime Union of Australia. At the time he said that, oh Jacob, I know that someone invited you to speak at Sydney and also Melbourne, but I thought that you first time came here, so I want to put you in the big truck, Maritime Union truck. I went to Melbourne and Sydney by the ride. And it's inspired me to look environment, but also it inspired me about how to become a best freedom fighter. Once again, thank you, Aaron, because this is not new for me, because your organization already stand and exists to behind West Papua movement until now. It's continued also in Melbourne. When I arrived in Melbourne, early 2000 and October 2000, Australia Council of Trade Union, sponsored by Maritime Union, to sign memorandum of understanding with West Papua, and it's continued, and it's make Indonesia also unhappy, so they send the delegation to push Canberra to involve ACTU to withdraw. But the commitment did and have been doing by Australia Council of Trade Union, especially Frontline, as a Maritime Union of Australia, still strong. And that's why today we stand and we sit, and I still hear that Maritime Union still take lead to the movement. So once again, Rohan, that's this part of how you stand as a, I call that angels, and also you have noble heart to help West Papua, and those behind you, around you, to help West Papua, you are a hero. And also, like what my brothers, Phil said, that you're a real warrior. One thing I want to tell you that freedom of West Papua is not for Papua only, but free Pacific and free the world. So once again, as a representative of West Papua, on behalf of West Papua, we so thanks, accept our deep thanks, and also proud that you already work closely with all Australian people to clean tear eyes of Papua and stop bloodshed of people of West Papua. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jacob. I'd just like to say, we were the first branch of the MUA, and I can foresee a future when the rest of the MUA branches will get on board this struggle. And once the MUA does, all the other unions in Australia will as well. And once you've got the complete backing of all the unions in Australia, you know, it's going to be great. Thank you.